guys to turn your screens on so everyone can see your beautiful faces and know, so we can recognize who's working for TNG. I want to start this afternoon with thanking everyone for joining us. I'm super excited for our second virtual career fair. Our first one was a huge hit. We had a bunch of people presenting, similar to what we are today. Great group of people. So excited that we're here. I'll start off with introducing myself. My name is Jenny Philbrick. I am from Tng Co. My dad is Daryl Elkins from Tng Co. And my mother is Betty Price from Williams Lake First Nation. And I am the executive director here at TNG, and I will be hosting our job fair today. We'll be starting off, I'll let you guys know why we're having our job fair. We, first of all, wanted to let everybody know who we are, what we do, what positions we currently have available, and a little bit of a background on how we got the positions that we're in, what are our backgrounds, our education, and our job experience. But before I get started, I just want to point out that we're all wearing red today. So today is, we wear red to honor missing and murdered Indigenous women and also to bring awareness. And this is getting bigger and bigger. And it's a great campaign so that other people come and ask you why you're wearing red, and you let them know that it is because of missing and murdered Indigenous women. So that is why we're wearing red, just in case everybody has any questions. We will have some more information on our website or on our Facebook page on the campaign. So I just want to thank everyone for wearing red. So TNG is very committed to building capacity in the nation. You will see that many of the people that we'll be interviewing today are nation members or are currently mentoring nation members for different positions here at TNG, so it's quite exciting. So our agenda today, I'll go over it. We will have Sherry Weeb, our construction manager. We'll do an interview with her, as well as JP, our senior advisor. And I'm sure most of you know JP, but he can give you a background on what he does on a day-to-day basis and how he came to be in this position. Along with Brittany Spooner, who is also a nation member. She is our human resource generalist. We have Racine Jeff, who is our community radio coordinator. And Tiana Johnny, who is actually doing double roles today. She's putting on this webinar, and we'll also be interviewing her. She's also a nation member. So yeah, and then we'll have a place for questions and answers. So if any members have any questions regarding our background, what we do on a day-to-day basis, our education, or any of our current positions that are open right now, you can ask questions there. And at the end, we are also going to have door prizes. So Tiana will draw 3 names. I believe we have some gift cards, some Visa gift cards. And then we'll also, at the end, I'll list out all the different positions that we currently have available at the TNG level. So it's quite exciting. So first of all, I just want to say Sachanalya to all of the panelists for being here. And I think we'll just dive right in and we'll get right into it. So we'll start with Sherry. Sherry, if you want to unmute, I'll ask you a few questions and then we'll go from there. So first of all, Sherry, can you please tell me about yourself, your name, where you come from, your upbringing? Yeah, please.
Sure. So my name, as Jenny said, is Sherry Weeb. I grew up on a 200-acre cash crop and commercial pig farm in southwestern Ontario. So lots of hard work. We picked stones. I was convinced as a kid that stones must grow, over time. Because no matter what, there always seemed to be more and bigger ones every year. We had turnips, so we hoed turnips, by, making sure the weeds were out and they weren't too thick and all that. So lots of hours in the sun for sure, driving tractor, that kind of stuff. So hard work was kind of a thing. But I then went to work off the farm pretty early because that seemed like a lot less work to go pump gas and do different
Mhm.
things. So I moved to BC about 25 years ago. So it's 25.
Wow, thank you for that, Sherry. Can you tell us what your current role is at TNG? And have you had other roles at TNG?
My current role is at TNG is construction manager. That's my first position. I came here. I started here in last September. I am also a member of the IT committee, but my official role is just the construction manager.
Perfect, thank you. What does your day-to-day look like right now, Sherry, as a construction manager?
Well, there's never 2 days the same, that's for sure, especially with construction related type stuff. We're just getting geared up for lots of construction projects in the nation. So I communicate with our construction team members, organize their schedules, answer any questions they have, construction material takeoffs. Sometimes I'm out in communities looking at projects and potential things or any issues. Lots of meetings on Zoom to organize and get funding things dealt with and reporting on the funding type things. And yeah, that
Wow,
lots of things, but never 2 days the same for sure. Which I like the variety.
nice. Thank you. What kind of education and job experience do you have in your past that brought you to this position today?
I did college a long time ago, a business accounting diploma. So my background is in accounting. I'm trained as an accountant. I've got many more accounting courses after that. I did my ACIA designation through the Institute of Chartered Accountants a long time ago as well. I've got college HR courses, lots of management courses, lots of construction association courses, specific ones on different things. That's the most of it.
Perfect. Can you tell me about your experience so far at TNG? What do you enjoy the most about your role? What made you choose TNG, and what makes you stay here?
My experience at TNG has been great. I mean, the people that we work with, I think, are just so awesome. Such a really amazing team of support, and always, everyone feels heard. I think, if you have something that is important to you, I really feel like that's an important piece. And I think the leadership really is strong in that. We have contact with them. If there's something that we have a question we can raise, yourself, Jay, others, you're always available, which I think is, in an organization the size of ours, is a really valuable thing. And as a staff member, I really appreciate that.
Perfect. That's nice to hear. Sherry, I do know that you have some positions currently open. Can you tell us about the positions that are currently open and positions that might be coming up in the future?
Sure. So as we are getting going on some construction projects now, and we have lots planned for this year and upcoming years, we've got construction, carpentry positions we're looking for people to help us with that. We've got general labor type things, where maybe you don't have some experience in carpentry or construction per se, but that doesn't matter. We can certainly use help that way. We've got construction superintendents that really want to mentor and have patience with people who maybe don't have experience. So we don't want to feel like they should be self-conscious about that. We all started hoeing turnips or working on different things in our past when we kind of had to figure out what it was that we wanted. And if it's something that resonates with you, then yeah, carpentry of any type and general work, whether it's digging some holes or digging, around a foundation. That's all important work. And as Sean will say, he spent a lot of hours on the end of a shovel, and now he's a red steel carpenter. So we're looking for all sorts of help in that way.
Perfect. Sherry, is there anything that you want to add that I didn't ask today?
No, I mean, I think you covered sort of the high points. I think just for me, one thing I would say with people that maybe for things that people should consider is maybe, being involved in improving someone's life, whether it's, improving their existing house so that they have a better living condition or building a new home. I really find that, construction is a very rewarding thing because at the end of the day, you can see something that you created, where that's not always the case. And, some jobs you think, jeepers, what did I really accomplish today? But I think there's a lot of reward in that, and a lot of appreciation as we go through the changes and the improvements to the homes and the houses. There's going to be so many improvements within the communities that will come from that. And I think just being part of that is a really rewarding thing for me. And I hope, we can have other people join our team that really see the value in that and want to be part of that, that team that we're building.
Perfect. Thank you so much for taking this time today, Sherry. We really appreciate it. And I know that we do have a lot of people that are currently in construction or interested in construction. So I just want to put it out there that if anybody does have any questions, please feel free to put it in our question and answer area, and we'll be sure to get back to Sherry to answer some questions later. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. I also just want to put a plug out there and let everybody know the different resources that TNG has for Nation members. We do have our TNG website, which is ilhqot'in.ca, that lists our different postings and all of the different events that we're doing, and it also lists updates that we give in communities. We also have our TNG employment page that Tiana updates on a regular basis, and it has all different positions there all over the Cariboo. And Tiana, she's our other resource. She's our employment coordinator, and she'll speak more about what she does later. So we do have many resources for Nation members that are seeking employment. So next on our agenda, we are going to go to JP Laplante, our senior advisor for ilhqot'in NEN. So that's lands, waters, and resources. So welcome, JP. How are you? It's good to see you.
I'm good. Nice to see you. Thanks for having me here. So
yes, excited to have you. Happy to have you here. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself? So your name, where you grew up, maybe a little bit about your family, so we get to know you a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, my name is JP Laplante. For those of you who don't know, that stands for John Paul. And I forget who was asking, but they guessed something slightly different. But yeah, as you might guess, I'm actually a fellow Ontarian. So I grew up in Southern Ontario as well. My dad's family is kind of half, I guess I'm Heinz 57. He's half French or from Quebec. And then, but my grandma was actually like English and Dutch. And then on my mom's side, my mom is actually from Scotland. So I'm a dual citizen. I'm a British citizen as well.
Wow.
And her family was Scottish and Irish. And I think it's the Irish and Scot in me that likes working for First Nations and not the Queen. So my background. And I grew up in Ontario. I have a really loving family, and I was really lucky that way. As a young person, I had family. Several of my cousins lived in Western Canada, and so I would come to visit my cousin who lived in Prince George and actually was a forester working for First Nations in Northern BC. And in a roundabout way, that's how I ended up in BC working for First Nations about 16 years ago now.
Wow, thank you. So what is your current role at TNG, and have you had other roles at TNG before this one?
Yeah, my current role is senior advisor for ilhqot'in NEN. And so I work in the Lakeside office, and I am kind of responsible for the lands and resource negotiations that are taking place through the Gowetson-Neilty pathway agreement and kind of post-title decision. It's an honor to have that job. It's such an important area of work for us. And prior to that, that's been 2 years, and prior to that for 8 years, I was the mining oil and gas manager. And a little ironic thing, it's 10 years ago today was my first day at TNG.
Oh,
So
wow.
like, yeah, my 10-year anniversary, and it was kind of cool. I wasn't sure, and I had to double check if it was actually today. And that was a real honor. I learned so much starting that. When I started, I think TNG had about 20, 25 employees, and we've grown so much. And my, my previous role, there's similarities, but my previous role was kind of squarely in the stewardship department, only focused on mining, oil, and gas activities. And that's now expanded to anything lands and resource and water and fisheries related, and supporting the good work that the stewardship department and the fisheries department does, and then also working on a bunch of new projects related to negotiations.
Wow, thank you. So what does what does your day look like on a daily basis, JP? What kind of things are you doing?
For better or worse, a lot of it is office work, and it's a lot of computer time, a lot of kind of mix between like writing and responding to emails and in meetings. And I supervise 2 employees at this time, so supporting them as well. That has shifted over the years. Like, I really like being outside, and I really miss the in-person meetings. Nowadays, it's way too much on the computer, but before it wasn't bad. It was a mix of on the computer, in community meetings, and then a little bit of travel as well, for meetings or events and conferences, and oftentimes supporting the chiefs.
Nice, thank you for that. Can you tell us a little bit about your background, so your education and job experience that brought you to this position today?
Yeah, so I have a science degree. That was how I kind of started my career. And then later on in life, after working for a few years, I went back and got a master's in environmental studies, natural resource and environmental studies. My science degree is actually in biomedical science. So when I started out, I was thinking I wanted to be either a doctor or a vet. And it really didn't click for me. I was too kind of curious and didn't want to just be in school for a decade. So I left after I got my degree finished, which I'm really grateful that I got through that. And then I traveled for a year outside of Canada. And then I kind of stumbled my way by luck to BC after that, because of my cousin that lived here. And I didn't know it. I was coming out looking at the University of Northern BC to do more schooling, and didn't realize that I was actually invited to lunch when in fact it was a job interview with the chief. And at the end of that lunch, the chief asked me if I was coming to work the next day. And I didn't even know how to answer it. And I took a few hours to think about it, talked to my family, and then accepted that job. And so that's been my second, and in a lot of ways my more important education. That was in 2006. And I've learned so much working. That was working for the Takla Lake First Nation. That's about 5 hours north of Prince George. And then in 2011, after going back to school for a year and a half, coming to Williams Lake and working for TNG. And so, yeah, I did want to flag, I really want to promote, I think science is actually a really good thing to study. And so if any ilhqot'in members are curious about studying science, my door is always open, or my phone. I'm happy to chat with anyone. But I want to flag, it's actually just a different way of knowing. And so I studied science, but I'm a firm believer that it needs to be alongside like traditional ways of knowing. And I've learned so much by working for First Nations that I would never have learned in school. And that a lot of people that I sit across the table from that are scientists, they don't understand either. And so it's a real honor for me. I've learned so much just through my work and being a witness to all the things that ilhqot'in have been doing, that it's like I'm learning every day, and I really value that. But I also appreciate that having studied science, I can speak the same language. It's like learning a different language, and I can speak that language when I'm working across the table from government. So that is an asset, and I encourage young and old SOCO team members who might be interested in learning that language to come and talk to me, and I'd be happy to give them tips about what to think about if there's, considering applying to university or college.
Perfect. I think that's great. And I think there are so many great programs now that are integrating Indigenous knowledge with science. So yes, I love the opportunity for members to come and talk to you, JP. Can you tell me, you've touched on this a little bit, but can you also tell me about your experience at TNG and what keeps you here?
Yeah, I can say what drew me to working for TNG as an outsider. Like, I'm Mido, so was in a lot of ways like just how proud the SOCO team people are, and how over your history you have core values and you stand behind them and you're willing to fight for them. And I mentioned like the Irish and Scot in me. I think that's I respect that, and it makes me proud to work for the SOCO Team Nation. I think the thing that's kept me at TNG is just the family atmosphere. You really do get treated like family. You're taken care of. I've been around long enough to have had those moments of having injuries and other things where I have been taken care of, and even my family by the nation. So that keeps me around. And the other really important thing that I think can be lost on, like, sometimes is overlooked, is actually just how historic this work is. Like this, we're making history. This is something that SOCO Team Nation is a leader in the country, and in fact in the world, in advancing Indigenous rights. When we go to the United Nations, and I've had the honor of joining some of the chiefs there, people are asking you what to do and how you've done what you've done. I'm just really proud, and it's an honor to have been there for some of those moments, like the title win, the exoneration of the war chiefs, those other moments, like those are proud moments in my career as well. So that making that history along the way is something that's really exciting, and it makes up for all the boring parts of the day of like sitting behind a computer. So yeah, I do miss being with people though, and so I really look forward, post COVID, to be getting back into the community and more on the land. That's a big perk to the job, the gatherings that I'm really missing right now, but I'm hopefully we're turning a corner sometime soon.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that, JP. And I agree. I feel that family atmosphere as well. I'm so proud to be part of this team, and just knowing that, we enjoy being together. Like, we even started a baseball team, which is really cool. It just shows how much how much we get along and how much of that family atmosphere we have. I know that you might have some positions coming up in the future. Do you want to maybe touch on those?
Yeah, sure. So right now the NEN team is 3 TNG staff members, including me. And then we have, they're not TNG employees, but each community has a NEN manager or NEN coordinator. So there's an additional 6. We have 2 openings that are coming up at TNG. One is for a NEN planning coordinator, and that's to support the NEN or land use planning that's taking place in each of the 6 communities, and is really meant to be like a hub to support the 6 coordinators in each community. The other position is, I don't know yet what the final job title will be, but tentatively like a community engagement coordinator. And so someone, I think it'll like almost for sure be from the nation. And it needs to be someone from the nation, and someone to support all the NEN projects in terms of engaging with communities, setting up meetings, assisting with getting feedback from community members and the different committees and councils that exist now. So those are 2 positions. I'm actually hoping the postings will be out within a month, will be public, and I'm hoping to fill those positions by the summer. So those are 2 openings. And then there's the potential for openings at the community level as well. So keep an eye out that there's some of the projects that overlap between TNG and the community governments. There might be openings there as well.
Awesome. Thank you, JP. So I asked you a lot of questions today, but is there any information that you think that I might have missed that you want the nation members to know?
No, I think that covers it pretty good. Just probably more so that, yeah, I'm always open. If anyone ever has a question about employment or education or training, I'd be excited to share. And like Sherry said, some of these positions, especially for if anyone's keen, if you have bring the right energy and attitude, any of this can be learned. And I'm even supportive of people coming, working, and then going to get the education that's needed to come back to make it a career. And I really think, TNG could be there. We have examples of that where it is a career. And so I encourage people to think of it in those terms, that come and work with us, and you can be taken care of for the rest of your career. So I just think that door is open, and if anyone ever has questions, I'm happy to chat with them.
Perfect. So Channel Yaw, thank you so much, JP, and congratulations on your 10-year anniversary. We'll have to do some celebrating after COVID, a lunch or something. But thank you so much, JP.
Thank you.
Perfect. Wow, this is so great. And I just want to stress what JP and Sherry have already said. If you have 3 of the 5 qualifications on a posting, please apply. We are totally invested in building capacity in the nation, and willing to train. So yeah, apply if you see any positions that are that you're interested in. So now we will go to Brittany Spooner, who is our human resource generalist. Hi, Brittany, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Perfect, thank you for joining me today. Can we start off, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your upbringing, where you grew up, your family, which community you're from?
Yeah, so my name is Brittany Spooner. I am the Human Resources Generalist for the ilhqot'in National Government. My mom is Shannon Woods from Cusco. I am also from Cusco. My dad is Gerald Spooner from Cusco. We kind of grew up out towards Estee La area. We lived out there for probably 6-7 years, so we kind of were really close with the Estee La community as well. I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I am currently engaged. And yeah, so that's a little bit about myself.
Perfect, thank you, Brittany. Can you tell me about your current role, and have you ever had any other positions with TNG before this role?
Yeah, so currently I am the HR generalist. I started off 2 years ago as the file clerk. I did a lot of JP's filing. Great. And then I ended up going as the assistant to the chief of Estee La. And while doing that, I went to school.
Nice. So you were a working mom student?
Yes, I was a full-time working mom student.
Can you tell us a little bit about your education that got you to this position today?
I just recently, last month, finally completed my Human Resources Management certification. It took me 2 years, and yeah, it's been great, and it really helps me in my current role for sure.
Perfect. You are so new to your role. Do you plan on attaining any further education, and what are your plans for your future? Where do you see yourself in 20 years from now?
So I have just applied for September. I will be doing my business management human resources specialist diploma, and that'll be a full-time year course. I am really hoping to get more involved with helping not just TNG, but being able to help each community more with their HR needs and everything like that. So.
Perfect. For people that don't know exactly what HR is, can you tell us what you do on a daily basis and what that looks like and what it entails?
Yes. Okay. So my day pretty much consists of making sure I'm posting open job postings for each of the departments in TNG. I do the interviewing, the recruiting, the onboarding process of getting people's contracts made up and sent out, making sure all of their payroll information is put in, creating employee files, and we have a new online platform that we're using at TNG called Bamboo, and so I am the main resource for if people have questions or need help with anything. Yeah, so different things.
It's nice to know because I think a lot of people refer to HR as just hiring and firing, so it's so
Yeah.
nice to know that there's more to HR. And how many people are on your HR team currently?
There is just 2 of us right now. It is me and Tony Trotman, the HR manager.
Perfect, thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience at TNG? And you know, you've obviously applied for a few different jobs. You like it here. What do you like most about working at TNG?
So there's a few things. I grew up with a family member that was part of the residential school abuse. And so growing up, I was kind of taught that being a Native woman was very not beneficial at all. And so I never got to know my culture. I never got to know much about anything about the Tykotine Nation. And so I was super interested in this position because I was able to meet someone that kind of let me know that it's actually an amazing benefit to be who I am. So I applied, not thinking much about it, and I got the position. And so working for TNG has been the best thing for me. I have been able to find out more about myself and my culture and who I am, and just the family atmosphere. Everyone is so accommodating, and the organizational culture is amazing. Like I love going to work. I love being here and working with everybody. So it's been great.
Wow, thank you. Do you have any advice for anyone who's thinking for applying for any TNG upcoming employment opportunities?
I would just say I'll be putting my contact out there, and on any of the job postings that are going out for TNG, my email and my number is there. So if they have any questions or anything like that, they can get a hold of me. Or if they want to know what positions are open, I can let them know.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing with us today, Brittany. Is there anything else that you think that I haven't asked that you want to share with the community?
No, I think it's good.
Perfect. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to sit down with us. Next, we will move to Racine Jeff, who is our community radio coordinator, and she's also a nation member. Hello, Racine, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. Pretty good. Yeah.
Perfect. So we'll get right into it. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, your family history, where you grew up, what community you're from?
Yes. Seed Sauzi Racine Jeff Tng Jobs. Sitting Quell Ian Cheryl Jeff, About Ian Jack Meldrum. Sitting Sue Ian Elizabeth Jeff. Heinley Sitting C Ian Garnet Jeff. Sisikai Ian Eli Bess Nicole Bess Brody Bird. Tykotine Che Yestik Jaguadas I'm learning, so Tykotine Che Yatastek Wanadasti, Radio Coordinator Nestlin G. Anasti, Tagustinkas Gubasyastik Jigwadesli, Computer Biguidas. I said, hello, my name is Racine Jeff. I am from Platinco. My mother is Cheryl Jeff. My father is Jack Meldrum. My grandmother is Elizabeth Jeff, the late Elizabeth Jeff. My grandfather is the late Garnet Jeff. My children are Eli, Nicole, and Brody Bird. I work with elders on the ilhqot'in language. I am a radio coordinator. I write down and record the language on the computer.
That was absolutely amazing. Thank you for bringing the ilhqot'in language to this webinar. That was beautiful, Racine. I love it. So can you tell us what your current role is? And I know that you've had past roles with TNG. Can you give us a little update on that?
Right now I am the radio coordinator. I work with work at the radio station with a few other people. I have an administrative assistant, Kirsten Lees, and 2 studio techs that work under me, Braden Boyd and Evan Catalano. We work with language interviews and audio to try and get the language back onto the radio. We work a lot with language champions as well. We really love Mariah Myers. She always comes in, she helps us quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. She's always pushing me to learn more ilhqot'in and use it in everyday life. So yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Do you want to put a little plug in and tell everyone what the radio station is?
The radio station is, we do a lot of work with the language. We have a lot of elders interviews in ilhqot'in. We like to do them in English and in ilhqot'in so people can kind of pick parts out and learn as they listen to the radio. We have Indigenous news stories. We have the Elders Hours, which has elders interviews that were even recorded as far back as in the 1970s.
Wow.
Up until currently. There's language lessons on there. We have Metal Mondays with Ron Sturgis and Luke Doxer, which are really exciting. We have a lot of music. We're looking for more local music from Indigenous artists or ilhqot'in artists. We'd like more from the nation. That would be amazing.
How do people access the radio, Racine? The radio station?
We are on 104.5 FM, and you can follow a link off of the TNG website that brings you right to it, and then it broadcasts live over the internet.
Perfect, thank you. Can you tell me a little bit about your past job positions and your education that brought you to where you are today?
Yes. As a single mother, I needed to find a way to support my children. So I went out and I found my funding to go back to university in the Applied Business Technology program at TRU in town here. Mm-hmm. It was a great program. It taught me a lot. And for my practicum, I did my 2 weeks at the main office in TNG. And I really enjoyed it. Everybody was very welcoming and it was like a really good experience. And I applied for the summer student position as a receptionist at the negotiations office, and I was able to get that position. I worked there for the summer, and since the position was only temporary, I applied for a file clerk position at the main office, the full-time receptionist position at the negotiations office, and then the administrative assistant position here at the radio station. I was actually accepted for all 3, but I chose the radio station because I really wanted to work with the language. And after I was an administrative assistant for about a year, I applied for the radio position and I was able to get into that, which I really do love. I really love working with the language.
Wow, and then you worked your way up and now you're running the radio station. That's amazing. Can you tell us about your experience at Tng and why you stay here?
Yeah, I've worked like a ton of different jobs, anything from customer service to I'm actually a certified heavy duty mechanic apprentice. So I've
Wow.
worked a lot of different jobs, but Tng has by far been the best. They treat you like family, and like JP said, they're very accommodating, and it's just a great work atmosphere. Like,
Nice.
yeah.
Racine, is there anything that you want Nation members or anyone watching on the webinar that that you want them to know that I haven't asked you today?
Like I came from very little skills at the beginning, like even with the applied business technology, I thought, you know, it would be a hard to get where I am today, but it was actually not that bad. Like they look at you as a person and they're willing, like Tng is willing to train, they're willing to help you with the skills you need to do your job.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Racine. Again, I want to thank you for bringing the language to this webinar. Again, I'll put a plug out there, 104.5 ilhqot'in Radio. Take a listen, share with your friends, and you can also access that on our Tng website. So channel ya. Thank you, Racine.
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. Hi, Tiana.
Hello.
How are you? So I'm going to introduce Tiana Johnny. She's our employment coordinator, and she's our host for this webinar. She likes to stay in the background, but I told her she had such great experience and such a great part of this team that I wanted her to be interviewed on our webinar. So thank you for joining us today, Tiana. I know you're doing double roles right now. But let's get started. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, about your upbringing, your family, where you're from?
So my name is Tiana Johnny. I'm from Clinton, but I grew up in Williams Lake. My parents are Doreen Johnny and Delmer Frank, but I was raised by Norma and Jim Mulvihill. Yeah, so I didn't really grow up with my culture at all. So it's been such a great experience working at Tng so far.
Nice, perfect. Can you tell us about your current role, and have you ever had any other positions with Tng, and what were those?
So my current role is employment coordinator. So I help people with like any employment services. Like a very popular one that I'm doing is just resume development and cover letters. I do a lot of that. I think that's most of my time. And but I can also help with things like preparing people for interviews. So we'll do like mock interviews for someone who's really nervous about going to interviews. And then I also help with if people come in and they don't really know what they want to do. Like most of the time people come in fresh out of high school and they don't know what to do for work or where to go in terms of their career, and I help them. I have some like tests to help them and just get to know them and just to kind of point them in at least a good direction. And yeah, and my past roles, I used to be a summer student and I did like a lot of event planning. And then after that was done, I did the reception role for like 6 months at the main office before I applied for this job.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that. Can you tell us what your job looks like on a day-to-day basis? I think you touched on it a little, but can you give us a little bit more detail on what you do on a day-to-day basis?
So usually I just wait for clients to come to me, or I will reach out to past clients to see where they're at, to see if they need help or if they have a job and if they need help finding one. I spend a lot of time on like websites looking for jobs, like job searching to post on the Tng employment Facebook page. And I find I spend a lot of time on Facebook. Sometimes that's how I get clients. They'll message me on there. And it's just a lot of just interaction with members who are either just looking to build their resume or find jobs. And yeah.
Perfect. I just want to say I follow that Tng Facebook page, and I'm always tagging people because you always have such a broad a broad spectrum of different positions on there. So it's so helpful. So not only do you post TNG positions, but anything local. Am I correct?
Yes.
Perfect. Awesome. Can you tell us about your education and your job background that brought you to this position today, Tiana?
So I am halfway through a degree. I went to UBC for 2.5 years, and for a BA in English. And then that's why I applied for TNG for a summer student position. And now I work for TNG full time, so I'm just kind of slowly trying to get my degree done. But I'm also planning on taking a certificate program in employment. So I'm quite busy, but also just looking to finish school while also working full time.
Nice. Wow. Busy lady. Can you tell us a little bit more about your experience at TNG and why you keep applying for positions here?
I really like it here, and it was a way for me to get to know like everyone, all the communities and the community members, and I just like the atmosphere here and the culture, and just how it just feels like family, and how I'm always supported in whatever I do, and yeah.
Perfect. I just want to let everyone know that I did not pay Tiana to say that. Perfect. Thank you, Tiana. Is there anything else that you want to let members know that maybe I didn't ask about today?
I think that pretty well covered it. I do really enjoy my job, so I really like when people reach out to me. So, I'm always available through email or on the phone if you guys have any questions about anything employment related. I'm also starting to do status cards, so there's that too.
Yeah, doing the Indian registry. So you'll see more of Tiana as well. So not only for employment coordinator, but she'll be our Indian registry associate as well. So maybe I'll let Tiana maybe get the names together and she can email them to me for who's going to win the 3 names for the draw. And I'll go over a few items as well before we do our virtual door prizes. So again, I just want to stress that we have all of our jobs posted on the TNG website, and that's ilhqot'in.ca. And then we have a TNG Facebook page, which is TNG Employment, and that's where Tiana posts all of the job postings from TNG and surrounding areas, and she has all her contacts on there as well, how to get in contact with her if you need to get a resume created or you want to do a mock interview, or if you're looking for training even, she posts those on there. And most of them are free, the training that are posted. So again, TNG Employment. And what else did I say? Oh, I wanted to give you guys a list of current positions. I went on to the ilhqot'in website, and currently we are looking for on-call staff. So for different positions, if we have people that are sick, if you're just looking for casual work here and there, this is the perfect position for you. So on-call staff. We'll call you the morning of or the day before, and you come in and you answer phones, you get to know different positions here at TNG and build those relationships. We're currently looking for a chief's assistant for Honey, so that is for Nitsaleen Jimmy Lulawa. So sounds like a really fun job, really exciting. I think very innovative, keep you busy. We're also currently looking for a communications advisor. And again, all these postings are on the page, and you can go in and they'll have more detail there. We're currently looking for a construction superintendent, and an estimator purchaser, so that's for the construction company. For July and August, we're going to be looking for 4 to 5 summer students. So that's not only post-secondary, we'll also be looking for a few high school students. So, there's your little plug. If you don't have a resume yet, reach out to Tiana and she can help you get ready for that. Health is currently looking for a registered dietitian. We're looking for an asset management coordinator, and also a GIS technician, which is in our mapping department. So lots of positions available. And again, I just want to stress, like everyone else did, we are committed to building capacity and putting time into our members. So please apply for any of those positions. So I just got the names for the people who won the virtual draw, but I just wanted to see, Tiana, before I move forward, have you got any questions from any of the community members that are watching? I haven't seen any.
I haven't seen any either.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I don't think that there are any questions at this moment, and that's okay. I think it's, you know, you're kind of put on the spot. But if you do have any questions in the future, please reach out. And all of us are more than happy to have conversations. We miss you all. You know, we can't get out into communities. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. All of our emails are on our ilhqot'in.ca webpage. Send us an email, give us a call, and we can talk more about our positions now, about our education, our past experiences. Yeah, so I'm gonna announce the names for the gift cards. So our first name for a $50 gift card is Andrea Charlie Boy. Congratulations. Second is Janelle Alphonse. And the third is Linda Bob. So I'm just gonna say them again: Andrea Charlie Boy, Janelle Alphonse, and Linda Bob. Please reach out to, we'll say Maya, our front reception. Our phone number is 250-392-3918, and we'll make sure to get you those gift cards. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Racine, Tiana, JP, Sherry, and Brittany for coming and telling us all about your guys' amazing backgrounds and brought you to TNG and what keeps you here. Really appreciate it. I think this is a really successful second career fair. We plan on having some in the future as well. If there are any different positions that community members are wanting to hear about, please reach out to Tiana and let her know, and we'll make sure to get them on our third virtual career fair. So I just want to end today by saying Suchano Ya. This was a fun part of my day where I didn't have to sit and write reports, and I get to have conversations with all of you. So thank you all. Thank you, Tiana, for setting this up. We really appreciate it. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Someone named Carla also raised their hand to talk.
Oh, perfect. Hi, Carla.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
I'm sorry, I'm just kind of new to all this.
Oh, there's
Okay, so something's going on with my phone. What I wanted to know before is, do you have any idea when you'll be able to accept people back into TNG, like community members?
So currently we don't, Carla, but we are monitoring the COVID numbers and just trying to follow all of the province recommendations. So as soon as we can, we will be having events and inviting community back in, but we will definitely be sure to announce it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your question.
Yes. Okay.
Raise your hand in the meantime.
Perfect. So we will end for the rest of the day, and I think probably in June or July we will have another virtual job fair. Again, check out those websites. We have tons of resources. So thank you all.